Is it working? Hi, Brendan. How are you?
Hi, Lorraine. All good here.
Brilliant. So you're my phone a friend in this instance because I've been asked by people wanting lessons, adult learn to uke lessons in the pub. Why are we not back in the pubs when, the pubs are open? So I've called you to explain why, but obviously we need to explain to other people why I'm calling you.
Sure. So yeah, good question. And I've got no specialist epidemiology qualifications or things like that, but I'm a medical doctor, and one of my roles I advised the Foreign and Commonwealth Office, the FCDO, and we've been looking at the COVID epidemic since it's evolved into a pandemic from early on in Wuhan. So yeah, I've been following the data, and I want to look at that, but also look at environmental issues and activities in that environment, and put it all together and think about what's the risk for teaching classes in small groups. So let us look at some basic graphics, hopefully.
Brilliant.
And stop me if it's unclear. So this is today's PHE dashboard, and it's not perfectly comparable because in this first wave, a lot of people just weren't getting tested. But you can see certainly in the last few days and a week, we're definitely heading in the wrong direction. So if now is a time to avoid any activities that could be risky. Obviously, there are essential activities like school and other things essential for the economy, and compromises are being made there. And hopefully, any negatives from that will be manageable. But anything, any roles where it's possible to be done in a safer way, working from home or Zoom ukulele lessons, you should veer towards safer at this time. So that's where we are in the UK right now.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's happening in Europe, and our case numbers are following in the footsteps of Spain and France, where they're now registering deaths. Deaths happen a couple of weeks after the infections. And let's look at some graphics of how risky is it singing in a pub. So this graphic shows various activities, going to the beach, outdoor things, through to the other end, church, etc. We've got low risk, medium risk, high risk. You can see that nightclub, indoor venues, indoor bar is right at the very edge of high risk. And they've actually got a little asterisk here next to church, a little caveat. Singing is even very high risk, off the scale. So your 2 meter rule for, we've all heard about 2 meter rule for coughing. If you're singing, they reckon it should probably be more like an 8 meter rule. And there's even a famous case report from the US where one person infected at least 32 other choir singers.
Wow.
More, despite physical distancing. So, to be singing, you probably need to be 8 meters apart to be relatively safe. Let's look at another graphic. Someone's tried to put this all together in this chart here. You've got being silent outdoors in a well-ventilated place with not many people for a short amount of time, that's green. If you go to the other end of the spectrum, which is singing in a poorly ventilated indoor place with high occupancy, everything's red in that corner.
Yeah.
If you're going to translate that to low occupancy lessons, perhaps up to 6 people with a 6 meter rule, indoors, you'd want a very well ventilated place. You'd want everyone wearing face coverings if it's for anything more than minutes. And at best, in that ideal scenario, you're scoring amber. So again, now is not the time to be doing amber activities with the trajectory of case numbers in the UK, unfortunately. And so I suspect Zoom lessons are the safest thing for the foreseeable future, until that second wave starts to dip, and then reassess on the latest evidence then.
Brilliant. Well, that's good, because I'm sticking with Zoom lessons. Safety first, eh? Thank you very much, Brendan. I really appreciate that. Is there anything else that I've not asked you that I should have asked you?
I think anyone who's got all the answers doesn't exist right now, and it's a changing situation. You can argue things the other way as well. Those case numbers are per 100,000. The ones I showed you were for over a 2-week period. So the average person you meet on the street isn't going to have COVID, and even if you were meeting 6 people, the chance of one of them is very small as well. The issues come when there's more and more people all meeting together. You have a few drinks and you think, let's wear face masks at the start, but by the end the face masks are off. You're sharing a bag of crisps, and it's that slippery slope really we've all got to watch out for. And of course, young people, they're going to get over it, but the more young people in the community who have it, the more older, vulnerable people are going to have it, and that leads to deaths. I mean, my 48-year-old neighbour died of COVID, and it is real.
Sorry to hear about your neighbour, Brendan. And yeah, thank you for talking to me today. I really appreciate it. Thanks.
Sure.
Sorry, go on. I didn't mean to cut you off, Brendan. What were you saying?
I just wanted to end on a cheery note that there's vaccines in the pipeline. I'm sure we'll be back on the boat or having lessons again soon, but it's just not now, and we don't know if it's going to be months or longer.
But fingers crossed, one day soon.
Fingers crossed.
I'm not cutting you off now. Am I allowed to say?
You can cut me off now, yeah.